Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
The Org Boss. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, interior design, inventory staging, business processing documentation, and more. Reach the Org Boss today at 832-617-0624 or send an email to info@theorgboss.com.
Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Good people, welcome back to another great episode of Startup Masters. I am your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins, of course. You can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity, chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z. And we got a great show for you today. Now, y'all already know what we do. It's all about taking you down that entrepreneurial journey, those lanes of people in the trials, the tribulations, that full encompassing trip that they take from the start of their business to the success that they've made today. And that's what we do on this show. We give y'all the ins and outs to make sure you're not skinning your knee up to the white meat, as my lovely co-host KG always says. But we're here to serve you. We're here to impact your life, and we're here to make change in that entrepreneurial journey. Now, I've got somebody special for you. So if you've been tuned in, if you've been riding with us for a minute, you already know we've interviewed some great folks on this show. One of those folks, and let me just keep it a buck. Not everybody gets an opportunity to come back. Now, we've had some great folks, but there's some few key people that always are the creme de la creme, these people that rise to the top and are constantly making moves in our society. And this young lady right here, every time I see her, she's all about brand. And every time I'm in her presence, that energy, that aura, those crystals she wears, those stones, I always feel that vibe from him. The synergy is always at the table when Miss Queen Life is in the building. Mm-hmm. And that is none other than the illustrious Candace Strother. Candace, what's up?
Hey, it is an honor, a privilege to be here, Gary. I'm sitting in for the wonderful KG Boogie. She can't be here today, but
KG Boogie.
We rocking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just really happy to be here, very excited.
I'm happy to have you.
Man, I feel the love.
Well.
We holding it down.
Exactly.
I'm gonna sing. We singing today. We having a great time.
Do.
Celebrating, going into a new year with new vision, new energy, and just really manifesting everything that we desire, right?
That's right.
So good people, we got a great show here. We got an amazing guest, so stay tuned.
So I'm once again, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you, especially guest hosting right now. And I know what I'm in store for. Matter of fact, I can step off the mic when you're in the building. I don't even need to be here. Let's just keep it a buck. Am I right?
No. I want you to stay because I might get carried away with my freestyle. You know what I mean? You might be like, wait a minute, girl. You know, I called you to co-host, not to take over the show.
No, well, hey, if it happens, it happens. We call that manifest destiny. We just going to ride with it, whatever happens. Now, folks, remember, we're on Facebook Live right now for the first 15, 20 minutes of the show. So if you want to tune in, if you're already there, make sure you drop any questions you have. And for those that are watching us on your couch right now, you're listening in your car, remember, you can hop on our Facebook page, the Sphere Podcast Network, and tune in live to get your questions answered. Any entrepreneurial items that you want to drop on the table, we can do that live for you during the show. So we've got a brainiac with us, folks. She's got a master's, folks.
She's really smart.
We've got somebody that has toiled and worked through the trenches, that not only trains, not only believes in public speaking to change people's lives, but somebody that says, you know what? I can write as well. The one, the only, the author, the public speaker herself, Miss Ashley M. How you doing today, my dear?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having.
Thank
you
you.
for being on our show. I'm just saying, there's
Honored to be
always a need to be surrounded by great people, and a lot of times when I'm sitting across from KG and she'll throw out a person, I don't even have to question it because I already know what lane she's in. So when she put your name on the Runner Show and said you were coming through, I was like, well, let's do this. And then Candace added on top of it. I was like, well, this is what it is. So, Miss Martin, talk to us. Give us the lowdown and walk us through this journey. Walk us through this beginning of your entrepreneurial manifesto. Take us from that point to where you are today. And then, of course, we want to dive into the future. Just get a glimpse of your vision for the empire you're building. You ready to do that?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's hop in this DeLorean back to 88. We're gonna take it back in time. Put us in the mindset. Tell us what was going on when you said, you know what? I've got a book to write. I've got people to lead. I've got a word to push. Talk to us.
Absolutely. My background is in public education.
Okay.
Started off as an educator. I believe you're always an educator. Once you're an educator, you're always teaching somebody.
about it.
Right, that's right.
Swiftly moved up the ranks from the classroom to an administrator
Mm-hmm.
and was in some leadership positions outside of public ed. And I would always get questions as a young leader, how are you doing all of this? And how do you stay focused? I was always the person that motivated other people, pushing them. I said, you know what? One time I read a book for you guys. The Power in Your Words. Watch what you say.
Talk about it.
Because it will manifest.
Very true.
Quickly.
And very
Like,
quickly.
real quick.
So I wrote a book.
Okay.
And in it, I put the things that help me to stay on track and that help me to reach goals. While I was in the system, I loved what I did. I loved serving, but I realized I did not fit. There were certain values, certain cultures that I just didn't fit in. And I've always been a rare bird. Always been a rare bird. And I'm grateful for my family who set the precedent and the example of what business looks like. My brothers are entrepreneurs. My mom was the first entrepreneur that I know.
Wow.
Lots of business people. So I had that example to say, if they can do it, I can do it.
Surely.
That's awesome. And I think a lot of us, we don't really have a lot of examples of entrepreneurs in our family. So it's just amazing that you had those examples to help you out because, as a new entrepreneur myself, it's a lot of adjusting that you have to really, try to figure out on your own and sometimes with very little support. And what would you say is, what's been your biggest lesson so far in your journey to entrepreneurship?
You really have to figure out what works for you. And even though I had all these wonderful examples, there's no cookie cutter way to do entrepreneurship.
That's right.
No cookie cutter way. So you really got to figure out what works for you. And I think you really have to know what your purpose is.
So, well, let me ask this, right? We often talk about environment, and that's what I heard you going to. You talked about your mother being that first entrepreneur that you knew. Give us, just peel the layers back a little bit on that. How important was that environment to you during your infancy of your business? How important were those people that were around you?
That's a great question. That's a great question because you need some kind of initial spark, motivation, or hope to say, hey, I can do this or you can do that.
Yeah.
And when I told the people in my sphere of influence, guys, I'm writing a book. I don't know what's going to happen with this. They're like, you can do it.
That's right.
You need, it may not be very many people, but you need somebody in your corner saying, go for it. Do it. You need just that little bit of spark, like a little match. You need a little spark. So that's super important. If I didn't have parents who said, go for it, or friends that said, go for it, we got you, we'll back you up, whether it works out or not,
That's right.
it would be totally different.
That's support.
In writing that book, because it's a lot of us that people say, oh, you have a book in you, girl. You tell that story. You got a book
We know
inside of
that.
you,
Yeah,
boo.
yeah.
Yes.
But writing a book, it's not necessarily a very easy process.
Correct.
Were there times that you wanted to give up, and what really helped you push through those moments, if so?
I can't say with that first one. There were times I wanted to get up. I was in a certain zone at that place
That's
in my
right.
life. I was just finishing my master's. So I was still in that like kind of discipline, deadline driven zone. The second book that's about to be released, that was a hard one to write. Because that was more of my personal story about working through pain and how to walk in forgiveness.
Wow.
So that was a little harder to write.
Yeah.
Excellent. Shivers down. my
Right,
spine.
listen.
Walking in forgiveness.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
a whole nother lane that a lot of people ain't. Did y'all catch that? For those
whole
that's watching
nother
right now, Facebook Livers, we see you, Terry.
a
We
whole
see you,
nother
Simone.
show.
Did y'all catch that?
Yes.
Walking in forgiveness, which is very difficult for a lot of people.
And it's a thing that really can hold a lot of us back. I think a lot of us are trying to figure out, how do we get rid of those thoughts of unforgiveness?
Sure.
Correct.
So you giving us the whole tool book, right?
Correct.
I can't wait to put my hands on this.
Listen, can I pre-order today?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you can.
Speaking of which, let's move into our first sponsor for the day, and that's coming from none other than the Org Boss. So, has the clutter in your home or office gotten out of hand? Are you sick and tired of spending way too much time trying to find the things you need on a daily basis? If so, then give the Org Boss a call so that she can help you create organized, functional systems that match your personal lifestyle. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, home staging, interior design, space planning, inventory staging, and business process documentation for growing businesses looking to formally document their procedures. Call the Org Boss today at 832-617-0624 or send an email over to info@theorgboss.com. That's info@theorgboss.com. So, looking at that past, looking at that infancy, that beginning, when you're hurtling past that and you're moving into greatness, I want to pin that little space in between the infancy to when you're in your full stride. What were some of the things that kept you going, kept you in that flow, in that juju? Obviously, you've kind of come over that initial hurdle, but what was pushing you in the back to keeping your stride as you started to really get your grounding and your footing?
Got it. Support, of course. And in some of the most unusual places, in reminders why I was doing what I was doing. Entrepreneurship is hard. Social media have people thinking
they
it's
don't tell you
easy.
that.
No, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard until you get into that certain space in that mode. But I had support from unlikely sources. And I can't say it was a massive support, but it was support from unlikely spaces that always kind of just kept me like, keep going, Ash, keep going, Ash, keep going. Self-care is major to me.
You better say that. Love yourself first every day.
Yes.
Live
It's
that queen
major.
life.
It's major.
Yeah.
And so, because entrepreneurs, there's this whole thing out there, team no sleep. I'm like, no, I'm on team sleep and rest
There you
and
go.
take
Got
care of
to.
yourself.
Well, dive into it right now because
Yes.
I want to know, and I'm sure those that are watching us right now, they want to know. Talk about that self-care.
Got it.
Let us know, what does that ritual or routine look like that recharges your batteries?
Got it. So for me, it's truly having one day of rest. So I have to do what I have to do on the other days so that I get that day of fully resting
That's
and
right.
recharging. And now, as an entrepreneur, we know there are different times and seasons where you got something, you got a deadline, you got an event coming up or a project, and you just, it is what it is. But you still can be very intentional about putting that self-care. If that's just meditating for 10 or 15 minutes.
That's right.
Talk about
Just
it.
press and pause. Turn the TV off, turn the phone off, chill out.
Yeah. Do you think those processes with your meditation and self-care, did that help you really get to the next level in your books? You wrote one book and then you decided to go forth with a second one.
For
That's
sure.
right.
For sure. I couldn't do it any otherwise.
That's right.
I couldn't do it otherwise.
And had you always done that, or did you learn from doing things differently before, or had that always been a part of your routine?
I think I've always been a person that kind of prioritized self-care.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear. See, girl,
Yeah.
You got the inside track over there.
Prioritize self-care.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Another thing I agree with is that Facebook. This is the end for y'all, good people. We love y'all. Thank
How
you so much.
do I
Hey, Lauren, we
say
see you.
goodbye?
But we've got a great show lined up. We've got some really great questions that Ashley and Martin's gonna have to unpack for us here on the show. But you've got to do something for us. Go over to sphere.tv/Startup Masters and subscribe. We're available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music. We're available on Stitcher for our techie folks. And while you're there, remember, you got to review us. Give us some stars. Give us some hearts. Give us that constructive criticism so that we know how to continue to build better shows for you. And at the same time, share this out. Share with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your loved ones. Share it with your haters, anybody. Make sure you just get the word out. And, of course, if you love what we're doing right here at this table each and every week, sow a seed. Go over to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a couple of options for you. You can find us via Patreon for your subscription-based donation, as well as a one-time donation right on the website. So, good folks, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, you can get more of this right here at the Sphere. So, let's once again, as I always say, let's unpack this. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the different things. Here we are in your stride. You're doing the thing. For somebody who is unaware, let us know what everything, your full umbrella of things you offer for somebody that just stumbles upon the website.
Got it. So I do, of course, speaking. More content than motivational. The teacher in me will not die.
That's right.
So I like to give people application how-tos.
Steps, right?
Steps, yeah. Leave you with something to be able to implement and see change in your life. My latest venture is the Leadership Lady.
The Leadership
Wow.
Lady.
Leadership
Dive
Lady.
Now,
into
I want to
that.
hear more about this.
I saw it on your face.
Wait a minute. The Leadership
The
Lady.
Leadership
Dive into that.
Lady.
Come on.
So the Leadership Lady focuses on soft skills training for leaders. And those soft skills are the things that are underneath the surface of an organization, but they make up the heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Empathy, confidence, focus, team alignment. Have you ever been on a team where something is quite off and you don't know why? And oftentimes it's because people don't have their teammates or team members in the right spot. So help and put people in the right place. Right?
Wow.
Planning and organization and systems. I'm grateful that my education background taught me that.
That's
It
right.
taught me all those things. So just transferring skills to a different setting. I've been honored to work with a surprising group, insurance agents. That was very surprising. But they needed me to come in to help balance out the sales because some people weren't reaching their goals because they lacked confidence.
Makes sense. Now,
Yes.
no, go ahead.
So what does that look like? Do they come to a training of yours?
Got
Do you
it.
go to them, or can you walk us through a
Break
little
that
bit of what
down.
that
Break
looks
that
like?
down. Right. So 5-step process. So we assess what your needs are based on the skills that I offer. We pick out your delivery format. That might be a workshop. It may be being on a panel, keynote, or one-on-one. Because sometimes it's just a leader like, okay, I know I need some more empathy. I need to be a more caring leader for my people.
Right.
And then we schedule a consultation to discuss, what does this look like? How long do you want me here for? Is it just a one-time thing? Is it, something that's going to be continual? We customize the service plan, and then I deliver, and then we assess the results.
I love it.
That's it.
Now, so where did this come from? I heard you. Obviously, there's some things that occurred, but where were you
Yeah.
at when a light bulb went off to put this
Got it.
together?
That
Got
was
it.
going to be my
That was
That's what
question.
it was. That
Question.
synergy.
right.
That's what
I
it
love
is.
it.
We're on the same page.
We
I love
connected.
it. Well, having been on both sides of leadership,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot as a leader and serving leaders and, being a follower. I've seen a lot. I have been one of those people that have been mismanaged because of my personality, my disposition. I'm an ambivert. When I tell people, they're like, "What is that?" I'm like,
I
"Go
was
look
about to
it
say,
up."
what is that?
Go look it up.
explain.
Tell me that.
So if you know what an introvert is,
Yes.
Yep.
okay,
That's me.
You know what an extrovert is.
Yep, that's Candace.
No,
That, I was just joking.
no, friend.
I fall in the middle.
Okay.
I fall in the middle, and that means extroverts get their energy from other people.
Yes.
Introverts have to recluse
Whew.
and get their energy. I can be around people, I love it, but I have a limit. And then, okay, Ashley need to have her own time so she can recharge. So I get what those worlds mean. I get what that looks like in a workplace. And that makes a huge impact on how you manage people and what you get from them. Satisfaction is major to what people are going to put out for you. So not only have I been that person that's been mismanaged, and then I've been the person that's been managed well, I've had people on my team like that with different personalities, or who lack confidence, or who lack focus. And they just needed a little bit of training, a little bit of sharpening.
You know what I like about you? You're using your strong skills and you have incorporated those skills into your business. You know, a lot of us, we kind of get displaced with, okay, what am I really good at? What am I kind of good at? But it sounds like you've identified what those skills are. How did you really uncover your strong suit and incorporate that into your business?
It took time.
Yeah.
When I first started, I didn't know, it wasn't clear. It honestly, this whole leadership lady thing just became super clear a couple of months ago. And it's
Wow.
funny because I met with a branding guy when I first wrote my book, and he coined the term, and I shelved it. I was like, I got too much going on right now. I completely shelved it. Something said, go pick that back up. And it made complete sense, especially right now. It made complete sense.
I'm impressed.
Inspired. So let me ask this question. Obviously, there are a lot of books on the shelf these days, right? There are a lot of people that are out speaking and trying to change and alter people's lives for the better. Hopefully. A lot of people out training and doing those things. But what's that X factor about Ashley that makes you stand out amongst the competition?
Everybody else. I would say my experience and my diversity and my ability to connect with different kinds of people. I've studied abroad, Latin American countries, and the cause is very dear to my heart. Wow. So I can connect with that community. I can work in the faith-based community. I can work in corporate because I have experience in those different spaces.
That's right.
And sometimes I don't think I don't have met anybody who has that kind of versatility. Maybe that's a better word.
Now, I want to put a pin when you talked about the Latin community, because
Yes.
I didn't know if there was a tear I saw coming up in the eye, but just talk a little bit
But
about
a tear of
that.
joy.
On my
That's why I
heartstrings.
want to, let me put a pin
On
right
my
there.
heartstrings.
Talk about that for a little bit.
I really don't know where that initially came from. It's just always been there. I studied abroad in Costa Rica and Nicaragua,
Okay. What part of Costa Rica?
San Jose.
Okay.
And then I went to Matagalpa, Nicaragua, and fell in love with children, just fell in love with the community. And from there, when I came back and started teaching here, I taught at it wasn't predominantly Latino community, about 60%, 40% African American. Just got to know the people. I love the focus on family. Love that. Let's see, I went to the Dominican Republic.
Wow.
Fell in love again.
Travel life.
I think we
Travel
all
life
have
will get
felt
you
that
right.
with
Travel
DR. I
Yes.
love DR.
Yes, and even while I was there, just connecting with the people. When I travel, I was something like, take me to where the people are.
Exactly.
That's right.
I love the resorts, trust me. But at some point, I'm like, take me to where the people are.
And the real food.
Yes,
So you can get that authentic experience.
Yep.
exactly,
Let me immerse myself in the people and the culture.
exactly.
It's important, and it's life changing. You know, for those that haven't traveled, for those that don't understand the power of changing your back to environment. When you do that and you see other people's lives and you embrace other cultures, it lives with you to some degree for the rest of your life. You
Absolutely.
become a changed and different individual. So it's always a great thing for Pat. And for any of these places that we're talking about, hey, if y'all want to advertise, y'all could do that right here at the Sphere. So this particular portion of the show is sponsored by us at the Sphere. Are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send us an email to advertise@thesphere.tv. So let's how do I say this? You've taken us a lot of different places. We're international right now.
We are global.
Right? We're international. And earlier you talked a little bit about the self-care. But I want to I guess unpack that a little bit more because I think it's important. Give us your typical day away from life. What does that look like?
Wow. Day away from life.
Mm-hmm.
You mean business?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
It may look two different ways.
Okay. Paint that picture.
Paint the picture. It may be me going to get a massage. It may be me hanging out with my girlfriends or my mom. Something that just not stress me out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm traveling, that may be me being at the beach
Okay.
and chilling out and reading and writing. And let's see. Get my nails done, doing the girly things.
Hey.
Just something where I don't have to think about bills. I don't have to think about turning something in. I don't have to think about sending the email.
Mm-hmm.
It's technology off. It includes good music.
Mm.
It
Now
may-
you know I love music. You talking my language now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That is so important. And you have to feed your soul and your spirit. So whatever your faith is, you got to feed it.
You know, what I like is you really stress the importance of balance. Because you throughout our interview, our talk, we've talked about different ways that you relax, you have processes, but you also make self-care a priority. I want to talk a little bit more about what inspires you, like what gives you that, wow, I'm motivated to start my own leadership business. I'm motivated to travel the world. What are some things that really inspire Ashley?
Got it. People inspire me. Children inspire me. Anytime I'm around a child, it is something that they will do or say or trigger something in my brain. Like come up with an
Nice.
idea. Like they're so creative. They are so authentic. They are so innocent. They're just raw.
That's
And
how we stay relevant, right?
yes.
Pretty
The
much.
kids like, let me
Pretty
see.
Yes, seriously. And children really inspire me. 'Cause sometimes I think adults are like big kids as well.
We are sometimes. I feel
For
that way.
real.
Yeah.
I have to walk you step through step in this process.
Exactly. Some days I'm literally making the decision to adult this
Yes.
day.
Right,
And
right.
other days I'm like, no adulting. I can't do it. I'm done.
Over it.
Check with me tomorrow. I'm done with this.
Tomorrow's a better day.
Yeah.
My adulting hours are.
Exactly. And
9 to 5.
I appreciate the transparency, and one of the reasons why I wanted to, repose the question about that, and obviously what inspires you, because I think when you talk you bring normalcy to the entrepreneur. And a lot of people that are watching us right now, some people that are listening to this right now, they think that entrepreneurs are always wound up tight and we're always on, right? But they don't understand that we're normal people too.
We really are.
We put our socks on, we yawn in the morning. Some days we don't want to deal. It's real, and we need those times to rejuvenate, to sew back in, to get nails done, to shop, to read a book, but not to sew in a business, but just to sew back in the set. We need those things, especially when we're on so often.
Correct.
Especially when you're walking in purpose, because that's where you are right now. You're walking in purpose. You're doing what's necessary and what you've been called to do. And everything that comes out of you at this table right now just confirms that and reconfirms that. So I'm here for it.
Wow.
I'm here for it all. Now, I heard processes earlier. What are some of those things that you've got going right now that we're talking about where you're at today? What are some of those things that are on rinse and repeat that just happen, almost just this efficient workflow that you know that is tried and true?
Got it. Something that I got from one of my coaches, there's two things I want to share. One is the 72-hour rule. It makes so much sense, especially if you procrastinate. And a lot of times, the girl does have half of the world. And I don't want people to feel bad about that because there's so many different reasons why people procrastinate. And once you identify why you procrastinate, you can start to tackle it in small ways. But he really helped me with having me to implement the 72-hour rule.
Talk about that.
And so if you are given an assignment, right? Or let's say, for example, we go to lots of networking events, right?
Right.
We take lots of notes. And then we got a lot of action items.
A lot of business cards.
It's like, okay,
Come
what do
on.
I do with all these business cards?
Come on,
like,
folks.
For that. We'll talk about that off air.
I'm listening.
But taking whatever that action item is from that training or that meeting and giving yourself 72 hours to make something happen. You may not make all of it happen, but give yourself 3 days. I've been in certain spaces where they say 24 hours. And that's great, but I think it's very lofty for people who are just starting out or people who that's their struggle.
I agree.
And so 72 hours, 3 days, okay, give me a little bit more time to get something done. So that's been very helpful. And just to continue to see movement, a little bit of movement. The other thing that someone taught me was to create a schedule for my day. So each day is focused on something different.
Okay.
So Monday I call it Money Mondays. I may learn something new about finances or just pay my bills, look at my money and focus on
Money Monday.
Money Mondays.
Look, I got to catch up. It's Tuesday.
Money
So let me.
Mondays with Ashley and Martin.
Pay
Money
your
Mondays.
bills, check your accounts, make sure, see where. So I don't know if I'm going to that. But Money Mondays.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do laundry on Mondays. I clean up. That is my house day. I guess it used to be Saturday for a lot of people.
Right. Clean up Saturday. Mama got you in the bathroom with the Al Green playing.
The
And
music on in my house was amazing. Or some gospel.
them too. All of that.
Yes. And so each day has something. Tuesday I try to handle business things, networking, webinars. Wednesday is for writing. Wednesday's for writing. So book, and I write for 2 blogging communities. So I'll do anything concerning writing on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays and Fridays, I try to, keep other things going on.
I like this.
I love it. I love it.
The compartmentalization.
Right.
Like in that way you can stay focused.
Focus.
Correct.
Just like the book.
Hey,
Correct.
Just
you better-
like
you better
that.
Plug that. I think one of the things that
I got you, girl. I got you, player.
one of the things that's happened so much as an entrepreneur is that we're juggling always. There's so many
Correct.
different things that need to get done. But I like that, saying, okay, no, this is what's going to happen this day. And everything else will come in time and fruition. But today, it's about the coins.
Correct.
This day it's about the writing. These other days are miscellaneous. I like that.
Yeah.
That
I
works.
think that works for you.
And clearly you're a visionary, so you definitely have a vision. I'm interested in knowing what's your 5, your 10, and your 20-year business vision.
You better transition. I see you.
Transition.
I love it. Let's see, 5 years. I would like to, and I see myself being positioned with universities. with that age group that we talked about
Yes.
earlier.
Speak that into existence.
So I work with a group of young women. Every year I have an annual weekend, an event. The vision for that is grown. But until I can manage it, right now I'm continuing with that annual weekend and some other events. But that group, that age group is dear to me. So dear to me. And there's so much that they need. So if I can incorporate Leadership Lady, giving them the skills that they need, and meeting their needs, that would be wonderful.
The win-win.
Correct. Digital. Softing it up. Do you have a webinar? Do you do Teachable? So seeing myself on those platforms and selling those skills there. Let's see. Seminars.
When you say
Seminars, leadership seminars.
like TED Talk style, or more so sit down conversational?
Interactive. I see you interactive, you know, showing them how to, letting them do hands-on activities.
Yeah. All that. I'm open. So I'm open.
Yeah,
but
that
the- that too. I'm open. I
add
just
it
like
to
to
the
talk
table.
to people and meet people. Yeah, partnerships. Partnerships with very key people to be able to give leaders emerging, transitioning, seasoned what they need. And a research component. That's big to me, because what leadership looks like today is going to be totally different tomorrow.
Yeah.
True that. And I would expect that none other than Miss Martin would be in the building on that day after tomorrow. She'll be in there leading the charge in leadership, right? In talking about all the things that we've talked about with that 5, 10, 20-year plan, is there something that really stands out to you, something that's been a challenge that you now want to tackle? Is there something that's sitting in the back, like we talked earlier about something being that book being shelved? Is there something that you've got on the shelf right now that you're considering grabbing and putting forth?
I have many things on the show.
Uh-oh. Come on, give us.
I
give
am
us
my
a
mother.
couple.
I'm
Give
my
us a couple.
mother's
Some
child.
little
I'm my
insight.
mother's child, and we come up with little things all the time.
Okay.
That lady has 5 patents sitting in her house right now.
Wow.
Wow.
So my challenge is making sure I don't have idea distraction.
Ooh, you heard that?
I ain't never heard of this.
Idea
I was gonna hit an
distraction.
ad, but I'm distracted from the ad.
That ad can wait.
Please dive deep.
Idea distraction. Different ideas come very easily. If it's a business, if it's just how to fix something. Oh, somebody can make something for that, or somebody can make something for that, or ideas for events. They come like, I'm like, whoa, shelf, because I cannot do all that. And perhaps it's being given to me to give to other people. I'm like, can somebody pay me to come up with ideas?
Be a little
No,
incubator.
seriously.
Incubate
Consulting.
ideas over here.
Ashley A. Martin Consulting.
Exactly. I've got ideas. If you've got the work ethic, I've got the idea. Let's get this into
Right.
fruition.
Yes,
I like
yes.
that. I like that.
Yes.
So this particular portion of our show is sponsored by none other than the Houston Housewives of Finance. So did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33%, or more than 77 million of Americans, don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough money in savings. Don't become one of these statistics, folks. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or send them an email over to info@HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com. Ask them how you can participate in a complimentary personal financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finances are the new faces of the new age of financial services. And one of the reasons I know this to be true is because those young ladies have definitely helped get my future together for kids that I ain't even got yet. So let me just, we sowing seeds early. I'm just saying. So Ashley, this has been a eye-opening. You done dropped some coins on the table that I ain't never seen before.
Right?
Idea distraction.
Foreign currency. She gave us everything.
We can't even exchange that. We just got to stare at it.
Pesos,
I
right.
don't even know. I'm just staring at it. But final question
Yes.
for the table.
Got it.
Let's take the book away.
Yes.
All the writing time that's been spent on a Wednesday, that you sewn into that paperback, to that ebook, to get that out to the masses, gone. All the time spent building these lectures and notes and working with individuals to help take them to the next level, eradicated. Every idea that you shelved in this business as a public speaker that you want to bring to fruition, simply decimated through time. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning. And let's say we leave you with the memory and slide you a little seed money. How would you do things differently the second time around to build this business that you didn't do the first time?
Wow, that's a loaded and good question.
Mm-hmm.
What would I do differently? Wow. I would not have had so many voices in my ear. I think I would have done a little bit more homework about what it is that I needed at that moment. But I think part of that comes with the territory of being a new entrepreneur. There are people who target new people or people in transition. And I think I would have been a little further along had I not listened to so many people. And just really say, okay, this is the voice that I need to listen to right now, and perhaps shelving those people that I met for a particular time. What else would I have done differently? That's the biggest thing. The insurance piece, that's a whole nother show though. Insurance entrepreneurs.
I can imagine.
Oh yeah,
Just
don't I know it?
Learning about that and doing more due diligence. I'm grateful that there's somebody there now who's helping with that. What that looks like for entrepreneurs. I would have given myself some more grace. I'm very hard on myself.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people are our own worst critics.
We always
You
are.
really are.
Yeah. I
Given
still feel some type of way. I'm over here sitting like this ain't right. I still feel like that.
And you're amazing. I mean,
appreciate.
Yes.
Hey, this table is hey, we gonna talk after the show.
he ready for Super Soul Sunday,
He
y'all, with Oprah.
Something. Now.
he is. Yeah. Giving myself some more grace for mistakes made. Like when you make mistakes and you fail, that's part of the learning.
It is.
It's part of the learning. So giving myself a little bit more grace in that area.
I have never heard that at this table before, and I love that.
I love that. And I want to incorporate that because I beat myself all up. Poor Candace.
Black and blue.
Black and blue,
no,
baby.
don't
Baby
do
got
that.
black eyes.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't.
Limping.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
You know,
indeed.
I want, because Ashley, you have such an amazing personality. I want the people to know one fun fact about you, if you don't mind sharing,
No. One fun fact
that they may not know.
they may not know. Oh gosh, yo hablo
You're left-handed. You're a
español.
Capricorn.
No, I speak Spanish. I have
bam.
2 tattoos.
Hey,
What else? I make excellent crawfish pie.
Oh yeah.
wait a minute.
Hold
Yes.
on.
She didn't
And
say.
pecan
I'm
pie.
gonna show up and pull up, okay, for some crawfish
Ain't y'all
pie.
having a party on Friday?
We are doing a little something. We'll talk. As soon as these cameras go off, we're gonna have a conversation.
Yes.
Crawfish pie.
I do. And pecan pie.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
And she from New Orleans, so you know it's good.
Well, look.
Listen,
Okay.
she from
Y'all
the
come
NOLA,
on.
y'all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what's
love
happening
it.
here. Well, that's what's up, my dear. We appreciate those little tidbits on the insides.
You're welcome.
We appreciate the journey you shared at this table. We appreciate what you've been through to get the knowledge that you have, to even be able to take people to that next level through the teaching, through the authoring, through the training that you do. Because everything, as you mentioned, you're an educator. You're giving back to people. And because of all those things, because of everything that you've done, we'd like to officially coin you at this table a startup master.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, no, thank you. Please let everybody know where they can
Absolutely.
find you, the book. If they need a service from you, tell them where they can get it from.
Got it. You guys can find me on all social media platforms at I am Ashley M. Ashley M 3710. Feel free to call me 832-8-ASHLEY. Website is www.iamashleym.com or theleadershiplady.com.
I love that. The
That's
leadership
awesome.
lady. Miss Queen Life. Thank
King
you
Life.
so much.
My pleasure and
for blessing
purpose.
the table. Let the
Hey.
good people know where
Yes,
they can
yes.
reach you at on all your platforms.
Absolutely, loved ones. Make sure you go to queenlife.org, and that's life spelled Lyfe. Go to Queen Life 1 on Instagram and Queen Life on Facebook. Stay connected to the movement. We have some great things planned for 2018, and we want to love you to life. One love, one life.
Love it.
There it is. I'm trying to go to Paris too. I'm just saying.
Come through.
But for those that are looking to reach me anywhere online, folks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. Remember, if you got any questions about what we've done here today at the show, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv, or hit us up on social media at thesphere.tv. Use the pleasant hashtag startupmasters, and we will get with you shortly. This has been another great episode. We will see you all next time. Take care.
Yeah.